Again, my name is Felicity Figueroa, and I wanted to thank you all for coming out on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. OC represent! Let's hear it! Okay, well, as our MC has said, I work with a number of different organizations. I work with a number of different organizations on a variety of social justice issues. But what is interesting to me is that almost all of them either affect or are affected by climate change. It's all a question of intersectionality, as I'm sure you've gathered by the speakers before me. One of the organizations I'm involved with, Women for Orange County. How many Women for Orange County members are here? Woo! Well, we sometimes address the issue of the erosion of reproductive rights in our country and the lack of these around the world in other parts. This situation often translates into unsustainable population growth, which further exacerbates the problems we already have and are apparent because of our warming climate. The intersection of religious belief into governmental programs, something we are on the lookout for in an organization called Americans United for Separation of Church and State. NEAU members here, very important, and there are many members of faith too who belong to that organization. Anyway, many of the problems between religious interference in government can lead to misinformation or sometimes no information on climate change in school textbooks and no discussion of its dangers in the science classroom. As a consequence, we now have generations of students in our own country who don't understand and can't appreciate the immediate threat of the climate challenge. As members of Friends of Orange County detainees, any FOCD people here, we visit immigrants and asylum seekers in detention. When we visit these immigrants and asylum seekers in the detention centers here in Orange County, and there are 3 of them, we understand that many of them have been driven to our shores because of prolonged adverse weather conditions in their homelands that have made their agrarian lifestyles no longer tenable. As Naomi Klein points out in her recent New Yorker article, and as Dr. Bill pointed out just a few moments ago, quoting Secretary of State John Kerry, it's not a coincidence that immediately prior to the civil war in Syria, the country experienced its worst drought on record. As many as 1.5 million people migrated from Syria's farms to its cities, intensifying the political unrest that was just beginning to roil and boil in the region. All of this is why it's so important for those of us working on distinct progressive social justice causes to realize that climate change is intimately related to and ultimately underlies all of them. And if we let the inevitable consequences of climate change proceed undeterred, none of these other issues will even matter. As for me personally, of course I worry about the future for my own children and their offspring if we fail to adequately address the reality of climate change. But we occupy a position of privilege here in Orange County. Anyone heard of white privilege? Or even the privilege of the upper 10% of economic affluence? So I'm sure my kids will be far better off than the children of the Latin American and American detainees we visit, or those of mothers in the Middle East who have minimal resources to cope with rapidly deteriorating conditions, or even those families in the poorer areas of our own country who do not have access to the information or financial means to withstand the changes a warming climate will bring. We are all members of the same race, that is the human race, and we need to take responsibility for both the well-being of our sisters and brothers in this world, and actually we have to take responsibility for the well-being of our planet as well. We've got our work cut out for us, so onwards all to Paris.